back to Sense and Sensitivity. Today I wanted to do a quick video all about patch testing because when you have rosacea or other sensitive skin conditions, patch testing becomes your best friend. I think, at least in my journey in the beginning, I did a lot of research on different recommended products, and I knew that I had to be really careful about what I put on my skin and how many different products I put on my skin, especially when I was trying out new things. So I really did a lot of research on patch testing, and I talked to different estheticians and just, makeup counter people to get their input. And so I've learned a few tips on what works for me. So tip number one is always patch test. Don't assume just because you've heard a product is good for sensitive skin or rosacea, or just because all the ingredients look like things you've used before and should be fine, that product will work. You never know with the formulation, the different concentrations of ingredients, what is or isn't going to work. So for me, it's just not worth it to get a full-on flare-up across my face. I'd rather just have a small area irritated if it's going to be irritated. So always patch test. Tip number two is do it systematically. So I have a whole multi-step way that I patch test products, and I do it over a long period, generally at least 2 weeks. So I'll go into what I do, but my general recommendations are start with an area that's not on your face, like say on your neck, or I've heard the inside of your arm is good and also sensitive. So start there and apply the product every day for several days to see if you build up a reaction. After that, if there's no irritation, then I would start applying it to a small area of your face. I usually like to start in an area like this that's not super noticeable if I do get a reaction. And I'll continue to apply to the original place, whether it was here or here, to continue to see if a buildup of the product causes irritation. So say I patch test here, do that for 3 days, no problem. Then I'll move to here, and I'll do that for 3 more days. So now this area has been patch tested for 6 days, and this has been for 3 days. Again, if no reaction at that point, I move to what I call my sensitive zones. So these are the areas that typically get irritated first from environmental triggers as well as product ingredients. So for me, that's this zone, the tops of my cheekbones. So that'll be the third area I test. And again, I'll do that for about 3 days or so. So now we're on 9 days for my neck, 6 days over here, and 3 days over here. And if after that there's no reaction, so that's already 9 days, then I'll keep patch testing here, and I'll patch test another sensitive area, like right in here or in here, because those are my flare-up zones. So I'll do this for another 3 days while I've done this for about 3 days. So now that's 6 days of that being tested and 3 days of that area being tested. And I've let go of these by now because I figure after 9 days, if I haven't had a reaction, I'm probably going to be okay. But I always like to be extra careful because there have been times where something didn't irritate my skin here, but it did end up irritating here or here, whether it was redness or just a tingling sensation. So once I've patch tested this area for 3 to 6 days, if I have no negative reactions, then I will try on an evening to apply it to my entire face. And I'll try to do that usually on a Friday, just in case I do get a reaction. I have the whole weekend to kind of work out my routine. And I also do it at night because I have had experiences where even after that really kind of intensive patch testing work I've done, once I put it across my entire face, it feels irritated or hot or burning or stinging, so I'll need to wash it off right away. And I just don't have time to do that in the morning on a work day, right? I've got to get ready and go to work and not deal with an irritation. So doing it on a Friday night for me is what works best. That way if there's a reaction, I can wash it off, cool down my skin, go back to my old products, and give myself the weekend to reset. So that might sound excessive to you, but for me, having that systematic trial period where I don't do anything else different in my skincare, so I would never test multiple products at the same time. It's just too difficult to tease apart what does or doesn't irritate you. So if you do a systematic trial period with one product at a time, you'll really be able to see if that product does or does not work for your skin. And that was how I discovered that niacinamide is really an irritant for my skin, because I went through that trial period with several different niacinamide products at different times, and I had the same response and reaction in my skin every time. So just as a heads up, I have 2 new products that I will begin trialing separately, so it's going to take a while for me to get a review out. But I have the Kahina Giving Beauty Facial Lotion, which I'm really excited to try. Non-scented. It's a really beautiful fluid-like consistency. I've just started patch testing this down here. So far, so good. Yeah, I'm excited for that. Nice glass bottle. And then I also have a little mini that I purchased of this facial oil by a Swedish brand called My Havtorn that has sea buckthorn. And the claim is that this is the best moisturizer for rosacea prone skin and really eliminates redness. And I'm curious because I know Sweden has one of the highest percentages of the population with rosacea, so I kind of feel like they might know what they're talking about, and this might be the secret weapon of the Swedes to combat rosacea. So I will, in a few weeks, start trialing this, and I will report back with results. So I hope you found my quick little video on patch testing helpful. Let me know if you have questions on how to go about patch testing, or if you do anything differently, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more content from Sense and Sensitivity.